This episode of The Patch is brought to you by Hulu Plus. Watch your favorite shows anytime, anywhere with Hulu Plus. On your TV or on the go with your smartphone or tablet. Shows like Family Guy, Once Upon a Time, New Girl, Scandal, and more. Right now you can try Hulu Plus free for 2 weeks when you go to huluplus.com/patch. This episode of The Patch is sponsored by NatureBox. Order great tasting, healthy snacks right to your door. Forget the vending machine and get in shape for summer with healthy, delicious treats like everything bagel sticks. Support this podcast and get 50% off your first order. Go to naturebox.com/thepatch. Hey everyone, welcome to The Patch.
The Patch. Hey, we have shelves now.
We had shelves last week. Welcome to last week's episode of The Patch.
I wasn't here last week. So.
Introducing Ryan.
Now there are shelves. To me, it's all new.
The Patch with 100% more Ryan.
With the shelves.
110%. I brought my A game.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Wow. Big talk.
I've been playing games.
Got to back it up now.
I'm hoping we can get enough game paraphernalia and desk junk to put on there so we can change it out every
you say
week.
game paraphernalia, it sounds
like something that's illegal in Texas.
Risque.
You know, some modded controllers.
It sounds like something you buy in a shop that also sells crystals and various other.
You ever see those?
Sounds like something you used to play Rez.
You ever see those at a convenience store? They sell like those little glass vials with roses in them.
No. Oh wait,
they're just crack pipes. It's like It's got a little flower in it, and you just it's like a buck or whatever. You just throw the flower away.
Where the hell do you shop? Where do you see that?
They're everywhere. You just got to look for them.
All right, hold on. When's the last time you actually went inside a convenience store?
I thought you were going to ask the last time I smoked crack.
Well,
the last time I went in a convenience store
follow-up question.
was yesterday.
So why?
To get beer.
Okay, all right, that's fair.
It is definitely a side effect for me driving an electric car is that I now no longer go to convenience stores because I usually would go to the convenience store when I go to the gas station, so I just don't do that stuff.
There's no reason to go inside anymore.
Are you
pay
kidding
the
me?
pump and just done.
Oh no!
I'm with Ryan.
I'm so impatient. I gotta do the latch thing, and if it doesn't have that latch that would hold it up, so it's automatically going, I would jam my gas cap in there to make it so I could walk away from it, and then I would go inside and then come back out. And I always had the thought either the gas is gonna spill all over the ground or that somebody's gonna run up and fill their tank real quick and then run off with my money, but that never happened.
Speaking of Tesla, have you seen that HEB right next to us has electric car charging stations?
It's one of the great fringe benefits of driving an electric car is that they always have spots everywhere. It's actually great at stadiums and convention centers because it's the parking lot will be completely filled. It's there's a dopey electric spot right up front. Yeah, so just use that.
So you're gonna be one of those electric car hipsters when eventually it kind of catches on, and
then all of a
sudden you're already there.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, right now you still got the spot, but soon you won't have that spot.
Let me tell you, the most electric car hipster thought I ever had was that I went to use the electric. HEB is a grocery store that exists in Austin that's here in Austin. It's all around Central Texas. They have an electric spot there, and I went to pull up, and there was a Prius in it, and I was like, "That's an electric car." I really
there are electric Priuses.
There are.
You're only halfway there.
That was how snobby I was.
Well, as long as you didn't go over 40 miles an hour, it's an electric car.
But I wanted to let you know I haven't lost my way in that. There was the Best Buy right by our old office. They had 4 parking spaces that were for fuel-efficient vehicles.
Yeah.
It was the most hippie, annoying thing every time I went there. But I had a car that would take a truck that would take that E85 gas, that 85 octane, which is ethanol, all ethanol. Yeah. And so I would park in the fuel-efficient vehicle spots with my pickup, with my F-150.
Oh, yeah. You thought you were so fucking clever.
It had fuel flex right on the back of it.
Did it take
that doesn't make it
3
fuel
of those?
efficient?
Yeah, it gets.
It gets 5% more ethanol in it instead of gasoline. It goes from 10% to 15%.
Isn't ethanol horribly inefficient too as a fuel?
It was horrible. Let me tell you, it was I think it was $2.25 a gallon. And gas in Central Texas is about $3.50 a gallon, $3.30 somewhere in there. It's usually cheaper in Texas than it is in other parts of the U.S. But this stuff was $2.35 a gallon, $2.50 a gallon. But dude, I got a third of the gas mileage from this thing. It was terrible.
Efficient.
I really got excited about it when I first got that truck because it's just one of the things that was part of it. Yeah. But then I filled up once with that, and I was never again. You'd have to fill up once a day in a pickup truck to do that.
So should we actually talk about video games?
Hey, this is technology,
This was a good week, too, to talk about gaming. I've got 3 new games I've played this week to talk about.
What did you play?
I've got Watch Dogs. We played some The Stomping Land and The Forest, which is really big on Steam right now. Both of The Stomping Land and The Forest are both early access right now. But
of those 3, I've only played Watch Dogs so far. And
what'd you think? It got a very scathing review on Kotaku.
Blaine has very squeaky shoes.
He does.
He sounds like a scuba diver walking by.
You've been flexing the shoes too, buddy? Come on.
I don't. It hasn't really grabbed me. I can't find myself wanting to play it. or like yearning to play it. I've played a couple hours so far.
You're not a big open world guy, right? And
I'm really not.
I think in the past you've said that
I didn't even like
you
GTA
don't like
4.
the too many options
Right.
can kind of overwhelm
And
you.
that's kind of what I'm suffering from right now.
I will say that is the main thing I've noticed about Watch Dogs is I feel like there's some experience there that must be similar to having ADD. Because when you're trying to do anything, it is constantly bombarding you with, okay, I'm going to go do the next campaign mission. Oh, crime in progress. All right, let me do the crime. Oh, gang hideout. Oh, you're being invaded.
Fixer contact.
Yeah, I mean,
all
it's
this shit's just going on.
You're trying to do things, and I think a lot of people haven't really enjoyed the campaign, and I think it's because it's much better or much more enjoyable of a campaign if you can experience it together. But it's hard to do that. You have to really focus on, I'm going to ignore all this stuff and just go to the next yellow thing.
Yeah.
And then it starts to hang together more as a story. But if you don't, you go, a couple hours between those missions, and it's just like, I'm back to angsty again, even though I've been driving around for about 2 hours.
I'm also having trouble figuring out how to take down people in a non-lethal manner. So, like, for example, you see like
The
crime in
baton, the
progress.
baton doesn't do that.
Well, you just got to run them down is the problem.
Is that it? Like,
Yeah,
I don't
you just
know.
keep running behind them, and eventually you will catch up to them.
Oh, okay.
That's it.
I gave up. I just started shooting people. Like now it's like
can-
fuck it. I'm just gonna shoot everyone. Crime in progress. Bam, dead.
Occasionally, you can get away with kind of winging them in the leg, and they'll fall down, and then you can catch up to them and club them. But usually you just run after them.
Is that what you're talking about with open world games? Do you play games that way where, like, say you unlock a campaign mission, but then you also unlock all these side missions? Do you go through and do all the side missions first and then finish the campaign?
I mean, I like to kind of do that because, I want to eventually complete the whole game. So there's some element of, well, this is right here, and the campaign mission is way over there. So let me take care of things and kind of work my way over there.
Oh, really? Yours is geography based, in other words.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like efficiency. It's like I'm closest to this.
I get
Let me
exactly.
play this and work my way over. But the one thing I will say, too, about the side missions in Watch Dogs, whereas, compare it with like GTA, where a lot of the side missions kind of had a story. Like you'd have a guy, and there's a reason that guy was having you do a thing, and it would hang together.
Even like the random encounters that they
Yeah.
had in GTA, they were really well written.
Yeah. And now, that being said, there's a similar thing in Watch Dogs, which is the private invasions, which I think may be privacy invasions, which may be my favorite part of that game.
I haven't
because
done that yet.
It's basically you hack into somebody's home system, and then you kind of get a view into their apartment, and then you just hack something in their house. But the fun part is watching what's going on in their apartment. There's some really crazy and dark and funny stuff.
I've seen some like screenshots and like gifs of stuff like that.
I think there's only 9 of them, but those are really fun. But there's nothing really that hangs all that stuff together. So it just unlocks a bunch of things, and it's like, oh, yeah, here's some, you just run through an AR experience. Oh, here's the privacy invasions. Like there's no character that ties together those mini missions.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which, it's not as, it starts to feel almost like WarioWare, where you're like, oh, it's just a bunch of mini games.
quick mini game.
Like
With a little
mini games with a theme.
There's kind
kinda.
of a story in the background.
Yeah.
And that's why I mean that sometimes the campaign's hard to experience, because you start to feel like the mini games are the game, and you forget about the campaign that's kind of in the background.
It's almost like art direction is just all that glues it together at that point.
Sorta.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like other people have already said it, but it feels more like a very polished proof of concept. I feel like the next game will probably be really good, but they're just figuring it out at this point.
I'm starting to annoy myself as a gamer because my main critique that I have of Watch Dogs is that when I play it, it doesn't feel next gen to me. And that's a really
I was
weird
going to
critique
mention
to
that
make.
too. Like the PC version of it, I've seen a lot of screenshots and video, and it looks really good. The cutscenes in it look really good in next gen, but weren't
The
running around
E3
in real
announcement
life.
trailers look really good.
Yeah.
in
Those
it.
are amazing.
Yeah, they're amazing.
But your average, just gameplay doesn't look significantly
I've-
different from GTA
I've
5.
seen there's something that's really been frustrating me. Normally when a game comes out across various platforms like Watch Dogs, PC, PS4, and Xbox One, you'll see a lot of like side-by-side screenshots. I hate those people who like manipulate the screenshot to make one look better or look worse. Have you seen
Like
this
whether
yet?
they blow out the gamma on one, or what do they do?
Right, or they'll like export as a JPEG repeatedly for one of them, so that it gets a little more
Ooh,
grainy.
artifacty.
Yeah, it's got some more artifacting in it. Doesn't
How
seem
do you
as
know
sharp.
they're doing that?
Because it's obviously fucked up. Like you can look at it and be like, this has been fucked
This
with.
is bad
isn't
compression,
right.
or this
yeah.
is, yeah.
And it's like there's no way that's what that actually.
Well, I
looks
mean, there's a
like.
big difference between lower grade textures and obvious like artifacting. So yeah, I guess some of that I've never seen that happen, but I can see how.
I also don't think when they do those comparisons anymore, they should do it with still frames. I just don't think they should do it. I think that the PC, just the way it handles motion and the way it renders a frame, it's going to look better to me as a still frame, whereas just play video and then glue the videos together that way. That would be much better in my opinion.
Yeah.
And those comparisons, honestly, does anyone really care? I mean,
It's for bragging rights. These are people who.
That's what it is.
Yeah, console fanboys who.
So of course there's going to be some
support
bias
one.
or PC Master Racers.
Well, I mean, we're early
you.
enough in the. Why are you always pointing at me? I didn't say anything about PC Master Race. In fact, PC version of this
I think
game.
we all heard it.
PC version of this game, by all accounts, is way more buggy right now. Like, it's got a lot more issues than the console versions. But we're so early in the console releases that people are still really interested to see where that stacks up against a PC hardware.
I definitely am, and I'm definitely more interested to see like what leaps and bounds games are making as they come out. And I'm still not quite feeling that. You know what I mean? And I should get over it, but I just can't. I want my new hardware to be awesome and just have an experience unlike anything before. And I'm just not.
We're too early.
I'm not feeling that.
Most of the games we're getting now are probably development before finalized specs on the new gen console.
I think that I think a good segue off of that.
I just want to say, the way I'm approaching Watch Dogs is I'm just plowing through the campaign, which I never do. I'm just going campaign mission to campaign mission, and then I'm going to do everything else later. In the past with open world games, I've always, as soon as anything on the side unlocked, I did that, and then went back to the campaign. I'm like, what's going on here? And GTA had 3 campaigns, so you were split all over the place. But I think that was playing games earlier. I got locked into that behavior because there were times in the past when I would finish the campaign and then I couldn't get back and do anything else.
Yeah.
But games just aren't like that anymore.
Yeah, that's annoying. I definitely think I like that.
You need to be able
sometimes.
to roam the world after you've completed the campaign. Like even Mass Effect, which had a very definitive ending where you shouldn't be able to roam around. You could still go back and play stuff if you wanted to and finish out side missions.
Even that got weird and confusing for like DLC.
So
it's like,
confusing.
This takes place before the end stuff at some point.
It's a mid-quel.
Right.
Yeah.
It's super bizarre.
Not a prequel or sequel. It's like somewhere in between.
I guess to wrap that up, I'd say I am enjoying the game so far. It's only maybe I'd say a third way into the main story. I think it's a great, as you said, it's going to be a great idea for the sequel. Like there's going to be a nice follow up to this because they could have taken a lot of things a little bit further. Like the hacking is really, I mean, I know it's they've got to dumb it down to a certain point where it's like something you can just enjoy. An action hacker is really not something that made sense.
But whole extra hack
they've kind of made it make sense that you can be an action hacker. But I think it's worth playing. Yeah, I'd buy it.
Yeah, I mean they didn't slow it down. Like there's other games a lot of times when you see hacking, it's like a puzzle game or a mini game, and
there is an element of that.
So fast,
right? Which gets old and would have slowed this game down a lot.
There
more,
is an element of that. I don't know if you've seen it yet. It's that tried and true like pipes kind of style.
Like
game.
BioShock.
Very similar.
I haven't gotten to that yet. BioShock's always what I think about annoying hacking stuff.
One of those things where you just have to rotate the piece to control the flow of electricity or whatever to unlock things, and then so that's still in there.
Assassin's Creed, you were like played Frogger at some point.
And wasn't there a similar hacking mechanism to that in Mass Effect 2? Like to bypass doors, you had to like connect shit.
Yeah.
That's pretty much just
connect circuits.
That's what they do now. It's
just
like,
gets old.
So
really
that
old.
is there, but it's not every time. So
It seems like the kind of thing that if they have, you should be able to like spend skill points in a skill for like automatic hacking. It's like to basically
that would have been fun.
That way you get the fun part of the puzzle game at first, and when you're done with it, like I'm just going to spend a skill point.
Totally done with
and bypass that from now on.
Absolutely.
But it's an interesting mix of stealth and because you can approach most situations in that game completely non-violently or over the top.
Not me.
violence.
I couldn't figure it out, man. Violence all the way. Gun drawn, shooting
Going
people.
blazing.
I used to play mostly stealth, and then I realized that if you play in stealth mode or as a stealth character, the games take about twice as long to play.
Yep.
Like even games like Skyrim and Assassin's Creed. But if you just go in and just start stabbing people and then fighting everybody, the game's over in about half the amount of time.
Well, it's a way to stretch your game dollar value. It's like you play as stealth and your game lasts longer.
It's also how do you want to? I mean, what experience do you enjoy? Do you want to be the ninja or do you want to be the warrior?
And I normally do the ninja, you know, where it's like even like going back to Fallout 3, I got to the point where I just like crouch everywhere I went and then shoot stuff in the head from 2 feet away. That's why I killed everything in Fallout 3. By the time I leveled my character all the way up.
I love sneak in Fallout.
Yeah,
That's the best.
It's a little ridiculous. You can like crouch right up next to somebody
Like, I can see
with
with
a
your
gun.
nose.
Yeah, or especially like if you already like are super maxed out on it, and you get like what is it, that little stealth generator, which gives you like the additional plus 15 or plus 30, and it's like you can just barrel through a whole level and no one fucking sees you.
Yeah, but then I never use those things because they're limited use. So I just have like 80 of them by the end of the game, and I'm too afraid to even use one of the goddamn things.
Yeah.
But if you really enjoy taunting the characters, you just pickpocket them and then throw their junk at them.
Another open world style game that's out right now, even though it's different genres, WildStar's out this week.
Yes. I'm gonna read this if you don't mind, because I do actually have a lot I want to say about WildStar.
Let's bring it on. Okay.
So I want to remind everyone, this episode of The Patch is brought to you by Hulu Plus. You've probably tried Hulu on your computer. Hulu Plus is so much more. With Hulu Plus, you can watch current season episodes of your favorite shows like Modern Family, The Daily Show, Scandal, At Midnight.
Thank you very much, Gus.
And watch every episode of shows like Nashville, Lost, and Doctor Who. You get ad-free movies and kids shows too. Now more than ever, there's so much to watch. Take control with Hulu Plus. Stream these shows and thousands more as much as you want, whenever you want. Hulu Plus works on your computer, smart TV, Roku, Apple TV, Xbox, PlayStation, pretty much any streaming device you already own. You can even watch on your iPhone. You can even watch on your phone, iPad, or while on the train, at work, at the dentist, or in the bathroom. You can even block off a day to binge.
In the bathroom.
We don't judge.
I didn't know your dentist got HD.
You'll also this gets HD. You'll also get access to originals you can't get anywhere else. Check out the new show Deadbeat, a comedy about a pot-smoking guy who talks to ghosts. Binge on all 10 episodes now. For $7.99 a month, get your shows anytime, anywhere. It's like $0.25 a day. Right now, sign up at huluplus.com/patch. Get 2 weeks full access, completely free. It's a whole extra week more with this special offer when you sign up at huluplus.com/patch. Get with it. Start streaming TV now with Hulu Plus.
You think games will ever get to the point where TV is now, where the day the game launches, they have all the DLC available day one, and you can just go through and like binge essentially?
Is it DLC at that point?
Yeah, see, that's it. Will gamers ever tolerate that? Like, they could have done that with Dead Rising 3.
It's just C.
What's that?
It'd just be C.
Yeah, be content.
People get really upset.
You see unlockable content.
Yeah, what'll happen is it'll just end up shipping on the disc,
right?
And you're just paying more for stuff that you already have.
Well, I mean, that's already happened. That's
I guess
done.
if it was free, they probably...
And people fucking hate that.
Yeah. I admit that I don't like it when I buy something and it goes, here, we're going to download the latest episode of this game, and it's like $32K. You're like, ping. Yeah, great.
Yeah, thanks, assholes.
Basically, it's the file size is the same size as your credit card number. That's basically how that boils down.
He bought it.
You mentioned WildStar. I want to talk about WildStar. It's a new MMO. Came out last week, I believe. No, yeah, it came out officially this week, but the head start.
Officially, yeah, it officially came out this week.
Started on Friday, Thursday or Friday of last week, I believe.
Oh, okay, here we go.
It's a MMO by Carbine. It's a company based out of Southern California somewhere, I believe. I played in the beta for this for a while, and it's got some good mechanics I had not seen in other MMOs previously. But I guess I kind of played the beta a bit and really wasn't that excited about it. But when the game actually came out and I rewatched the launch trailer, I was like, oh yeah, this game's awesome. I don't know, there was something about that trailer that really grabbed me.
Personality.
Yeah, and it's like the voice that they speak in.
It's got nice stylized art to it. I hear the hip swing is a little out of control in some of the animations. I've seen some GIFs pop up where it's like a certain female character's walk animation. Her hips are going like a meter in either direction.
Hips don't lie.
They don't. And what they're saying is...
Thank you.
My hips Kara hit the controller thought that was very funny.
Right now, my gaming rig is packed up because I'm going to be moving soon. So I haven't had a chance to play it since it launched. But I think once I get settled in, I'm definitely gonna check it out, play some more. Gilby was trying to get me. He was trying to get me to.
The Adams have been real big on it right now.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something about Gilby, because I go in and see him in his office, and I had to raise my hand so people could see it. But he's at his desk like this, and then he comes in, and then I go in and I go, hey, Gilby, and he minimizes. He goes, yo, what's up? It's like that. Let me tell you something. That move never fools anybody. If you've got your hand on the left side of the keyboard, you got your mouse over here like this, and you're leaned back, nobody in the world thinks that you're like,
I'm doing some Excel.
Coding the site. Nobody thinks
it's all
that.
hotkeys on the side. It's all hotkeys.
Exactly.
Next level.
I haven't got a chance to play WildStar because we have been unbelievably busy with production around here. I mean, you and I worked on this is like our fourth different thing that you and I have worked on today, I think.
Yeah.
And you have RTX too.
Yeah.
Which, by the way,
I was having to take breaks to make phone calls while we were filming other stuff.
1 month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something like that.
And we just got a really cool addition to RTX.
Yes. You want to see what it is?
Sure. Why don't you're the RTX director.
Well, I want to make sure that I'm thinking of the same thing you are.
I'm thinking of the Titanfall.
Yes.
Oh, I'm so excited. All right, Titanfall.
Yeah. Titanfall will be there at RTX. You may have heard of it. It's a small indie game.
Yeah, so they'll be showcasing some DLC, right? Mm-hmm. Is that I don't want to say what they're gonna do. I don't want to give you spoilers. Is there anything
they'll be there with some stuff to show.
There we go. Okay.
They're bringing the Titans. You heard it here first.
Yeah, absolutely. They will be in the parking lot, and you can ride around them. That's not true.
Yeah,
by the way.
we'll definitely have more specific information about their involvement here pretty soon.
So Ryan, you were talking about the gifts that you see of the hip swing in WildStar that are out there. Do you think there's any part of the game development process now where people say we want this to be a GIF? Because right now, Mario Kart 8.
I am so fucking sick of Mario Kart 8 GIFs. If I have to look at that fucking Luigi death stare one more time, I'm just gonna break my laptop.
It's gonna be there forever. But aren't you happy that Nintendo has something that's gone?
Fucking thing.
But I'm really happy that Nintendo has had something in this generation that's gone viral, because the Wii U is a good platform and it has been underperforming this entire time. For what, 2.5 years now?
You think this is like some kind of viral marketing scheme where they just slip these things in here and wait for somebody to find it?
Well, you just never know when that's going to take place. Like, who the hell knew, like Skyrim with 80 different mods for, visual effects being added to it. Like, that became like a thing that people would share online.
More fundamentally, arrow to the knee jokes.
Right. And those things like
to the knee.
And like with Watch Dogs, it's the profiles from people that you walk by.
Yeah.
When you access their smartphone and you get their actual
Those are
information.
funny.
And you're seeing those all over the place. Or like reading people's text messages. I saw there's a Walter White Easter egg that he's in the world somewhere.
Aisha Tyler's also in the world.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she's actually one of the privacy invasions. You hop into her apartment.
Oh, I haven't done really.
And then you just find her somewhere walking on the world too. I've seen her in the privacy invasion and in the world.
Yeah, I like that kind of stuff. Like if there's somebody like
Element of real.
The first thing I remember like that was in GTA 3. There was the ice cream truck, and it just took forever to find that thing. Like you had to go around at certain times to find the ice cream truck, and it was on that horrible like side missions where. This is before achievements when you got 100% completion. You had to get all these like unique cars that you had to bring to the impound lot, and that was one of them. That drove me nuts.
Yeah, no, that's always a fun mechanic. But you said that they would put these things in the game and they hope someone finds it. They could put it in the game and then start seeding it themselves.
It's true.
Making posts and pointing stuff out. I could totally see that. Just like these stupid.
So you heard it here first.
GIFs.
Luigi Death GIF, whatever. I haven't even seen it.
It was an.
No,
you haven't seen it.
He's a busy man. He makes like 8 videos a day.
I mean, we've been packing Michael and Lindsay up in a box for like the past couple of days so we can ship them off to Australia. It's been busy. It's hard to get that guy in a box.
It is.
He fights it hard.
It's like trying to give a cat a bath.
He keeps kicking all the styrofoam peanuts out. I mean, it's just difficult.
I can only imagine
Australia,
that.
He's yours for the next few weeks. Hopefully, we squeezed all the content out of him.
Michael and Lindsay, the newly wedded Joneses, will be down in Australia for, is it Supernova?
Yeah, Supernova.
They'll be there in, I want to say, I know Perth is definitely one of their destinations, but
Sydney and Perth.
Sydney and Perth, they will be there.
So the GIF is Luigi looking left.
Yeah. And I'm surprised you haven't seen it. It's everywhere. I'm so sick of it.
Yeah, you're sick of it.
Which finger would you flip the bird with if you only had 4?
Just give him the big mitten, like the.
I guess that makes the middle finger actually truly the middle if you only got the 3 in the thumb.
Do you give him like those two?
Well, here's a question: what is the Japanese obscene hand gesture? What is that? It's not the middle finger.
Jesus.
It's not even that in Europe.
I mean, have you seen some of the things that are
I know,
on their
right?
TV? Like, what could you possibly offend someone with?
Who knows? I have no idea. It's
I'm sorry, I love you, Japan.
With
Honestly, I do.
unpixelated genitals.
There you go.
Yeah, no, it's true. Pubic hair, things like that.
Yeah.
It's weird the stuff that like different cultures find offensive. Those lines, they're all arbitrary lines for all societies.
Yeah.
But it's like when you see somebody else's arbitrary line, you're like, well, that's ridiculous. That doesn't make sense. So I just say a full mitten. That's what you get.
There you go.
So one of the weirdest bits of news I saw this week is that Zen Studios is making a Walking Dead pinball table for Walking Dead, the Telltale game. They're making a pinball table for the mobile and PC versions of their game, Pinball FX 2 and Zen Pinball. It seems like the weirdest crossover.
Now, when you say table, do you mean like
It's like it's a pinball game you play.
It's a digital
on,
pinball game.
Okay.
On like mobile or PC, and they're making like a Walking Dead Telltale game skin for one of the pinball.
I mean,
tables.
really, pinball used to be everything, right? Like they would make a pinball for every movie that was big blockbusters, and it would never make any sense. Like pinball doesn't have a story to it, so
I find it interesting though. I don't know if you do, but it's like think about that from a licensing perspective. Is that you have The Walking Dead, which is a graphic novel. That's the way that property started. Then they licensed it. I'm assuming they have a photo there of the digital pinball.
Oh,
game.
there it is.
It actually looks like an urban environment.
And the Lee and you see the Lee and the Clementine.
Oh, okay,
in
it's
the
actually-
lower portions.
Is Clementine a flipper?
it's in the game.
No,
Oh, no,
I
they're
think
just standing there. Okay.
they just made it
Yeah.
look like it's in the game.
gotcha.
Like that's the way the pinball game
It's like,
looks.
oh my god, we came across this compound. There's pictures of us and a giant rolling steel ball.
It's got Lee in there too, which
means play.
Clementine is at this point in the story. She's like been through a lot, and it's
Yeah.
like I keep waiting for her to get like a little tougher than what she is because she does tough stuff, but then immediately goes back to I don't know.
Well, I assume you've been playing season 2.
I'm not up to date on it, but
So
I have played the first
It
2
always
episodes.
drives me crazy. You know, there's always scenarios where like, oh, we have this dangerous thing happening. We're not quite sure what to do. Clementine? It's like, come on, really? Let's turn to the 8-year-old and ask her what she
She's
thinks
young
we
and
should do
creative.
right
Haven't
now.
you seen Ender's Game? You got to go to the young ones. They know what to do.
We have this
She's
dangerous
a third.
We have this dangerous thing we need to go do. I can't do it. You can't do it.
Well,
It's like everyone's like,
Gus,
let's
also
ask the
compact.
8-year-old.
Let me level with you. If you're in an apocalyptic situation, and you have a party of people and there's a dangerous thing, you would send the kid. I know you would. I know you would. You'd be like, I'm not doing that. Send the kid. Send the
But then
8-year-old.
say that. Like, they're all like, oh, we have to protect Clementine. We have to take care of her. Clementine, go climb to the top of that mountain and kill a zombie with a fork, you know?
But I want to see the end arc for this Clementine character and see where she ends up. I mean, it's just going to be like, when she's an adult, she's going to have the 1,000-yard stare. She's not going to give a fuck about anything after everything she's been through. But I was thinking that it's interesting, the licensing of Walking Dead. Starts the graphic novel. You know, they license it out separately for a TV show. Here is a digital pinball game that's licensing the video game version of the graphic novel.
Right.
One of the video game versions, because there's another video game version of Walking Dead, the FPS one that
Right.
I think Ray played or Michael
pretty
played.
terrible according to
According to
everything
them,
I've heard. Yeah.
I never played it, but yeah. So it's interesting to me how that licensing works. Do they license it from Telltale, or do they license it from?
Yeah, and like
was it
at that
Image
point,
Comics?
like all of these sub-licenses, they don't make any money on that, right? It's like
I don't know.
all of the licensors granting the license probably.
And was it
Pick it all
Telltale
up.
does weird stuff too with licensing? Didn't they make the poker game that has all the characters in it? Like it has.
Oh, yeah, they had that. It was the Salmon Max were in it.
And Penny Arcade characters were in it.
yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah. So they do a lot of different licensing stuff. Obviously, I mean, Telltale's got right now in development licenses based on Walking Dead, the Fables graphic novel for Wolf Among Us, and Game of Thrones
Borderlands.
and Borderlands,
Yeah.
a video game that they're doing it. So yeah, they do a lot of licensed material.
Yeah.
They must have one of the best licensing departments in the entire industry.
I still have not played the most recent episode of Wolf Among Us. I need to get on that. I've been neglecting it. So I'm in like flux because I'm moving soon, and the battery on my Xbox 360 controller is one of those rechargeable ones.
Uh-huh.
But I packed my charger. So it's like I played all of the most recent Walking Dead episode with like only a sliver of battery, and it was going off constantly. I'm like, there's no way I'm gonna be able to make it through an episode of Wolf Among Us before that thing dies.
Well, you're really like locked in with this move, aren't you? I mean, it's bring to work.
He went all in. He's completely
I
committed.
do need to bring it.
The move is happening.
But I saw, that reminds me, I saw that the Walking Dead has been confirmed for Xbox One and PS4.
Oh, yeah.
The Telltale version of the Walking
Right,
Dead.
yeah, they, it had been speculated for a while, but they officially announced that they're actually going to do that.
Good. I can't wait to watch you transfer your save,
Walking-
Gus, to play it on Xbox
The
One.
Walking Dead and
That'll be
Wolf-
the highlight of my week when that happens.
Walking Dead and Wolf Among Us are both confirmed. They're going to release this year. They didn't say when. And Walking Dead Season 1 and Season 2 are packaged as separate games. Season 1 box is Game of the Year Edition, so it's going to include the Forge of Days DLC. Yep, that's it. So, I mean, I guess they'll both be
So
out later
go
this
ahead
year.
and make a copy of your save file now. Why don't you just get that out of the way?
Well, by then,
just delete it right now.
Or just start
Get that out of the
playing.
way.
Just start at one again.
So theoretically, if they make a Season 3 of Walking Dead
I'm sure they will.
and it's on Xbox One, would there be a way to export my Xbox 360 saves and then migrate them up to Xbox One so that I don't have to play all the fucking games again?
They're doing it with Minecraft. I imagine this
Yeah.
would be a much
Yeah,
simpler. I mean,
but-
this has got to be just like a Boolean list, right?
Yeah.
True, false, true, false.
But
think
they
with
still managed to fuck it up, and I still have to replay the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, right? Is that their fuck up or your fuck up?
I'm pretty sure it's their fuck up. I've never had this issue with any other game.
I got right up against a cloud save issue with Assassin's Creed as I'm like going through and trying to get 100% sync on everything. I had my I play at the treadmill. That's my treadmill game. I'm like up to 280 miles walking while playing Assassin's Creed 4. And on the Xbox One, that's the platform that I'm playing it on. in the house, that game was at like 68% completion, and the one in the garage by the treadmill was like 97%. I went inside and played, but the Xbox was in low power mode. And so in the living room, because I hadn't played it in a while, I pulled it up, and then it just immediately started playing, and then it saved. And I thought, oh shit, I just saved a 68% file. And then I like shut everything off and tried to and not even knowing if my Xbox is shut off. I was like, damn, but it worked it out. Like it gave me a dialogue box I'd never seen before saying this save looks way out of date compared to what you had in the cloud previously. What do you want to use?
It's usually pretty smart about that.
So I was pretty happy about it. That's always a danger of cloud saving, and I have personally fucked that up before.
I would be fucking terrified about that.
Of course, the moment it doesn't work, I'm going to bitch about it and I'll be like you and say it's all their fault.
Oh, it was their fault in my case.
Here's the thing, though. How would you move that file?
Right, that's the mechanism I'm wondering about.
The cloud? I mean, is that it's really the only though in the most recent update to the Xbox One, which I think came out today?
Yeah, it's today.
Yeah.
So we're recording this on a Wednesday. So this is when the external storage and what else is in this one?
Real names.
Real names, yeah. That's the Xbox update's going out today.
Which I don't know that the format is interchangeable between the Xbox One external storage and 360. It's probably not.
I don't think so. It definitely has to be a USB 3 device on the Xbox One, and so I don't think the Xbox 360 supports USB 3.
Well, it's backwards compatible usually, so it'd still talk at USB 2.
Both companies seem pretty invested in making the transition to their new platform as easy as possible. It does seem like there's a commitment on both companies.
From as far as like data migration for the Walking Dead game, it could also be something on Telltale's end where they have, like on their servers, they denote your gamer tag and what choices you've made.
Whoever runs that service, just flag Gus's account for me, please. Please
flag it with all the awesome intros, all the awesome stuff.
Something else I got to give props to with, I said both companies, excluding Nintendo, but Nintendo has done a great job. I've read nothing but good things about the online play for Mario Kart 8. Also, Mario Golf that's on the DS, the 3DS right now, the online play for that is tremendous. So
it's easy to have an online service when you have so few people using it.
I guess so, but you still got to give them credit. I mean, it's like Nintendo isn't really known for online play. They haven't really had that.
It's one of the few game consoles right now where their beta audience is probably about the size as their production audience.
They have botched shit in the past, like the Pokemon Bank. That was not that long ago, and that got fucked up.
Well, that's why I'm saying give them props when they're doing something well. Here you are.
I think it's just because they don't have people playing the goddamn game.
Let's
they
be positive.
shipped 1.2 million units of Mario Kart 8, I believe, was the launch figure for that.
You know what? Bernie's trying to take us to a positive place about Nintendo. Let's be positive. Let's give them their props. They launched. It didn't break. There's a little death stare
It's Luigi's death stare.
Other than that, it's pretty smooth.
I think Gus is having stress from all the gifts out there.
It's all this fucking Worldwide Developers Conference bullshit that I already ranted about earlier this week.
You should be looking forward to the GIF of you looking at the GIF of Luigi.
Giving you the Luigi death stare
which is coming next.
Oh, no. I'm so sick of it. That and flat icons, man. Don't get me started.
We had a whole discussion on the Rooster podcast this week where Gus was really upset about Apple's up. Do you want to talk about it? It's technology. Apple updated their operating system for laptops and desktops
to 10.10, which is basically 10.1 if you look at it from a decimal perspective.
Math is really strong there, yeah.
They had a huge presentation about how all their icons are flat now and how beautiful they are. Who gives a shit? They made the Finder icon more smiley.
Well, you put the phone in your pocket, so you've been sitting on the icon. It just over time kind of.
Well, it actually brings it in line. Do you have an iOS device?
I do not. Well, I take that back. I do have an iPad.
All right, but you don't. Your smartphone's not.
No.
So the latest version of the iOS actually did all the flat icons, and they updated it for the look and feel to be similar on the desktops and the laptops.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it makes sense to me that they, oh, look at the happy Finder icon.
Too happy. I think this one's actually a concept image. That's why it's circular. I think the final production image is actually squared.
Why does that remind me of Gavin?
I can point it out.
What could it be? Maybe it has an English accent.
Yeah, whatever. I mean, that's...
You're over it? You've moved on?
Yeah, I'm going to
So they announced no new technology, right?
No, I mean, their cop-out is that
thing.
it's a developers conference. They did do something interesting. They announced a new programming language called Swift to unify for easier Cocoa development in OS X.
Okay,
which seems cool. It seems like a way to make development easier and more accessible. So we'll see how that plays out.
So your contention is that it creating a brand new programming language that no one has ever worked with before somehow makes development easier than using a standard language?
I believe I'm going to look it up here. 'Cause I don't want to talk out my ass. I believe it's like essentially a fork of Objective-C, where it takes Objective-C and then tries to simplify it and get rid of stuff like you don't have to include libraries. Or things like that. It's just like trying to update it and get rid of some of the more archaic practices when it comes to something like C, which is fantastic, but is so old and has so many holdovers. It could definitely use maybe a little bit of a facelift.
Yeah. All right, fair enough. So we'll see how that goes.
People on Twitter are also pointing out to us that the Xbox One update today includes games for gold.
Right.
The free games
like
for
the
gold
Sinner
members
or whatever.
on Xbox One, which previously had not been available to them.
Cool.
Yeah.
One of the other things I want to talk about that came out, we had talked about this on the patch previously. Now that we're talking about Apple stuff, I don't know if you remember when they announced previously, I think it was at last year's Worldwide Developers Conference. It must have been in an early patch. We talked about this, how they had they added gamepad support into iOS. And then my big complaint was that all of the gamepads that came out had the controls on this side of the, so it'd be like on the left and the right. So it's like you'd just end up holding this really wide device with a screen in the middle. And I always complained and said they should have the control under it. And that way it's like your screen's up here and you're playing with it like that. Razer finally, I have not seen anyone else do it in this whole year. Razer unveiled a slide-out gamepad. They're calling it the Jungle Cat. There it is. You just put your iPhone in it, and then it slides the controller down. You can play, and then when you're done, the controller slides back up behind the iPhone. So essentially an iPhone case with a slide-down controller so you can play games on it.
Okay, great.
That's pretty awesome. It actually looks like it improved the durability of your phone considerably as well.
Yeah. So I actually didn't see what the pricing on it was. I watched their demo video. It's going to come out in July, and it's going to be $100.
Do you ever watch unboxing videos?
I used to watch them a lot more. I
Really?
really don't watch them very much anymore.
I would like to watch Michael get unboxed after you guys ship him off. I would watch that video.
Well, that's on the other side of the ocean.
Yeah.
You got to get somebody down there.
We'll get him on the return.
Yeah. All I'd say is I don't know if we put enough food in there, so he'll either be really mad or really,
He's got foam peanuts. He'll be fine. Just eat those. He'll be all good.
He's not a foam elephant.
We're putting two of them in there. There's Michael and Lindsay. If at least one of them comes back out, then we're good, right?
That sounds horrible. two enter, one leave. It's good enough. Net average, we're okay.
I'm going to see if there's an update on this story, but when I looked this morning, I read a story that, here it is. Okay, it got removed. So apparently this morning on the United States PSN network, Uncharted 3 was listed as free. And I guess you could download it and get it.
Which sounded like a great deal.
For free, but apparently...
free if you were a PS Plus member or just free?
Free for everyone.
Interesting.
But I guess it's been removed from the store. So people are saying that maybe it was a mistake.
Page's not found.
Maybe it's something related to an upcoming E3 announcement next week.
Oh, really? Okay, so we should probably talk a little bit about that.
That would be odd to... Why would you take it down though so quickly? Just like as a
maybe it was
tease
maybe it was a mistake. Like maybe it was supposed to go live at this time next week.
Yeah. That's a good point. Yeah. That's a good way to look at it.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know what the connection would be, but it's just really bizarre timing because how would it go through all the? I don't know obviously how they publish stuff to their store, but how would it get through this whole process if someone wasn't like?
It's kind of funny doing it when you can precisely pinpoint the moment someone got fired.
Man. And you can't. I mean, you can see how that would go wrong. Like somebody put the wrong date in, and they said, "Oh, it'll be the Monday of E3," and somebody goes, "When is that?" It's like, "Oh, it's the first weekend in June." It's like, okay, and so they just set it the wrong way. Right. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the first week in June.
Yeah.
It's like, no shit, this year it's the second week in June.
Exactly right. And they might have planned that like 4 months out. I got my E3 badge and credentials. I was sending stuff in February just because it's such a gigantic pain in the ass to get it done. And then you got to book your tickets and get your hotel room because that place just fills up. I mean, E3 is an enormous conference. But when we used to work at the telecom company, I was working with an ISP, and there was a guy we were sending out a mass email to one of the internet service providers that was making a change to their settings. And it was a significant amount of people that were signed up with this ISP. So we broke up the mass email into chunks. And one of the chunks that he sent out, he put everybody in the CC field instead of the BCC field. And I want to say it was like 1,900 email addresses. And then they all started replying back to the CC.
God.
That was a nightmare.
That's a storm.
That was, and it was like one of those things that's like, oops. And so It's just oops. That's all it is. And it's like we all had to deal with something for a week because the guy put something in the CC field.
Yeah, well, I mean, let's hope for this guy's sake, or whoever was responsible for this particular thing, that it was the date and not the price that was mistaken.
Right.
Oh, you mean in case like a bunch of people downloaded it for free?
Right.
Yeah, that would be a little rough.
Yeah. I guess they could probably just redact that, right? If anybody got it for free, they just turn it off.
Yeah, but really, are they going to do that?
I don't know. It's a good question. I mean,
it's like the whole thing when
especially if it's leaked, right? Yeah.
Or
if you said the wrong price.
If they clearly made a mistake, and you, however, managed to grab it during that period, and then they took it back.
Sure, Amazon does that.
Yes, that's exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah. So like when somebody puts up a printer, instead of being $199, it's $1.99 because somebody screwed up with typing the period in the wrong place. Amazon has a thing where they say, no, we're not shipping this thing out like that.
Yeah, but then there's sometimes where things will be honored. You'll hear occasionally about an airline website that has wrong ticket price information.
I saw one just the other day.
Yeah, people fly to Hawaii for like $50 or whatever, and it's up to them. Sometimes the airline honors it.
Who do you think messages that up for everybody else, though? I mean, is there someone there just watching like, oh, man, we're not making any money today, but we're selling a lot of tickets, in the case of an airline? Or is it like, did someone finally just tweet them and go, hey, thanks for the free trip? And everybody after that just got screwed out of a cheap flight.
Yeah. I saw on the Austin subreddit on Reddit, because there's subreddits based on cities, is at one time somebody posted that, hey, if you go to the gas station at this intersection, one of their pumps is set for 32 cents a gallon, as opposed to $3.20. And they're like, it was great. And they're like, I just went and filled up. He was right. And all this stuff. It's like, you're just taking advantage of somebody's mistake. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's just, it's
like
terrible.
Some poor guy who runs the place. Like, it's not, you're not ripping off Exxon. You're not ripping off whoever, this big oil company. You're ripping off a dude who's just trying to run a small business selling candy bars and shit.
Exxon still gets paid the same amount for the gallon of gas that they sold to that gas station.
Right, it doesn't get out of there. It's not out of their end.
No. Yeah. And it takes them a while to make that up if like 30 people show up. Yeah.
A lot of those, I used to actually work for a company that dealt with a lot of gas stations. And most of them for gas, a lot of the cases, they're selling it for pretty much cost. Like they're not making any profit off the gas.
They're hoping you come into the store and buy something.
Exxon is, or whoever, but the gas station themselves are just, they're dancing right on the edge most of the time.
My view on a lot of that stuff has changed over the years because like just recently I had to go to LA for some meetings and stuff. And so I always go to Hertz in LA. And for whatever reason, they were busy as hell. It was like some Monday. I was thinking it was like the NBA playoffs were going on. Clippers were in the playoffs. So there's a lot of stuff going on at once, and they were out of cars. And so they had to give me a pickup truck instead of my car. And like everyone I talked to, like that day when I pulled up somewhere, like, this Hertz just gave me a pickup this time. It's weird, that I have driving a pickup around LA. And like everyone had this universal reaction of, well, if they didn't have the car, did you get something out of them? Did you like tell them they had to upgrade? It's like, no, because I'm there like once a month at least, and the people there, and they were having a busy day. So I was just like, just give me the pickup. I'm fine. Yeah.
Also, have they ever rented a car? You never get the car that you ask for in a rental thing.
No, but the immediate thing was there was a problem with a business I do business with on a regular basis. So what did you do? Like, did you like hold their feet to the fire and all that stuff? It's like, no, I just like, it's a guy behind the counter and he's like, there's 80 people in the room. He's like, do you mind taking a pickup? And I'm like, absolutely not, dude. Just give me the pickup. It's fine. Because it's not Hertz. It's the dude behind the counter who's just trying to get through a really shitty day, And I see that guy like once a month.
Yeah, I remember you parked by me. We were out there, and I parked, and then you pulled up next to me. I was like, what the fuck is up with this pickup? It was so weird.
It was weird.
What the fuck are you driving?
He goes, do you mind a pickup? I go, do you guys have pickups? He's like, yeah. Oops, sorry, Gus.
You got a message.
Yeah. So yeah, it's just one of those things, but it is one of those attitudes of like if a company ever does anything incorrectly, that it's like
you're owed. Stop
the presses. So let's destroy them.
They were not batting 1,000 today.
Yeah.
So you're gonna get something. Here, let me read this thing right here. Remind everyone, this episode of The Patch is also brought to you by NatureBox. You made my voice crack. NatureBox.
Puberty spot.
Your mission: snack smarter, get in shape by summer. Your enemy: the vending machine. But when you're starving at 3 p.m., all cranky and lightheaded, the evil vending machine can seem like your only friend. Don't give in. Head over to naturebox.com. NatureBox sends great tasting snacks right to your door, and they're great for you too. Healthy snacks like barbecue kettle kernels, everything bagel sticks, South Pacific plantain chips, and over 100 more. I mean, what's this one? Cherry vanilla granola.
Cherry vanilla granola is good, man.
Bruschetta pretzel pops. Coffee kettle popcorn.
Yep.
Did you say bruschetta pretzel pops?
We have not opened these and tried these yet.
Fruit medley. I just tried it actually right before.
Tomato and rosemary pretzels. There you go, Ryan.
Do it.
Zero trans fats, zero high fructose corn syrup, nothing artificial, even snacks that are gluten conscious and non-GMO. Free shipping anywhere in the U.S. NatureBox is busting up the vending machine's monopoly of your midday hunger. Try NatureBox. I appreciate you leaning away from the mic.
Ryan is leaning as far away from the mic as possible to eat his bruschetta pretzel props.
Try NatureBox right now. Get 50% off your first box by going to naturebox.com/thepatch. That's naturebox.com/thepatch. Stay full, stay strong. Go to naturebox.com/thepatch. That's naturebox.com/thepatch.
That's really good.
Yeah.
It's completely unlike anything I expected it to be, though.
Oh, I'll try it.
Yeah, go for it.
I'm
You're gonna lean back?
the Ryan methodology here.
Let's stretch your back and get to eat.
So one of the other E3 rumors is that, did you see, you weren't in last round, did you see any of the Battlefield Hardline stuff?
Yeah.
So apparently one of the rumors is that EA is going to be giving out beta access to people who attend the Sony PS4 conference at E3. So there's apparently going to be a PS4 beta for Hardline.
You've confused me. I have no idea how to get a beta code at this point.
You have to go to the Sony
the
press
Sony
conference at E3.
What is
Wait,
Sony
who
been
is
doing?
that? Who goes to that?
Well, what I was going to say,
People that want a code.
I agree with you. How is it that the PS4 is now like the beta platform?
It has cornered the market on the betas.
Because the Destiny beta, I believe, is exclusive on the PS4.
Yep.
Destiny makes sense to me. I mean, that was a move, them going from, Bungie going from Xbox to going multi-platform. That one makes sense to me. But you think of it as being the big beta platform, really?
Well, now, I mean, that's...
And now it's Hardline?
Titanfall beta was on Xbox. I mean, obviously, because it's...
yeah.
I mean...
Yeah, you're right. They
option.
did not beta it on a console they didn't launch on.
All I'm saying is there's not every beta is on the PlayStation. So it's not...
So far, they're batting 1,000 on every game that is cross-platform, though.
Exclusives are staying exclusive during the beta period, even. How much of a bitch would it be if the game is exclusive to Microsoft and the beta was on the PS4 and all the PS4 users are like, God damn it.
And I'm sure there's like someone working on the game who's like, why the fuck did we agree to this? Doesn't make any sense.
I think in general, Sony does a very good job with all the bonus materials essentially that they do for Microsoft or for their PlayStation Plus and PlayStation owners. And it's a good sign because I think the recent stat they said was that 50% of PS4 owners are PlayStation Plus members now. Correct. Which is great because they launched, the PlayStation Network with having no subscription fee. That's a hard thing to put in place after you didn't have it. And they've made up a lot of ground. The free games for PlayStation Plus members are amazing. I mean, they have stuff that was out 6 months ago.
That and the discount you get shopping in the PlayStation Store. Like if you buy enough stuff online, your account pays for itself just from discounts from buying software.
Yeah.
I mean, it wouldn't take many of those free games to just pay for it in that alone.
1 month of it probably pays for it on its own anyway. Because it's all fairly recent, like you said, fairly recent releases.
It is crazy how the two major consoles, the way they rubber band off one another. Like if you look back a couple of years, like when PlayStation Network launched, I mean, we're a long way from PlayStation Home. Let's put it that way. Yeah. That was not a whole lot. I mean, get on PlayStation Home and wait in a line. I remember doing that.
I never. It's like, yes, I'm going to log into this and wait to play bowling,
or wait to watch a movie trailer.
Yes. Wow. What the fuck is this?
It was. The service has changed a lot. I think that Sony has made up a ton of ground. They're doing a great job with PlayStation Plus and the PlayStation Network.
Yeah, I agree. So I don't know if you saw this, but apparently there were some new images that came out for Valve's VR headset.
Oh yeah. It's ugly as crap.
Yeah, it has...
Has ZeniMax sued him yet?
It has...
What?
Yeah.
It has polka dots all over the front of it.
It looks like a mocap suit.
Well, presumably, I guess, it's got to be for tracking purposes.
It kind of looks like someone just took a really ugly umbrella and embedded it in your forehead.
Let me explain people can look up this online, but if you're in a place listening to audio podcasts where you can't look it up, it's basically like it looks like a polygon representation of what a headset should look like with polka dots.
Do you remember
black and white polka dots?
Pyramid Head from Silent Hill?
Yeah.
It looks like that, the fucking giant box.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Thing on the head.
It looks like the VR headset looks like it would be in a VR game in the 90s, like the early VR stuff, which was all just super blocky polygons.
I think even in the 90s they had a better design sense than this polka dot thing. I mean, I understand why the tracking dots are necessary, but they really are going all out with the tracking dots.
And who knows how that'll look when it makes it to market. That's not a final design,
no.
Gus? Is it just
early
So who knows? But I will say that Valve in general is like the things they do well, they do very, very well, and the things they don't do well, they just don't give a shit about.
Yeah,
like,
you never see it.
You ever go back and look at the way Steam has changed over the years and what the interface used to look like? I mean, it's gotten to the point where it's really pretty usable now. But man, when it first started, it was a misery.
It's still kind of... I have a bone to pick with Steam right now, actually.
Oh, do it. PC Master Race, huh?
It's Steam. Man, I don't pick the fights. You see this, right? So Steam now has family sharing, which you kind of talked about a couple weeks ago.
Yes.
Where that was the streaming through LAN to a different device. You can also now borrow friends' games.
No, yeah, that's family sharing.
Yes, family sharing.
Yeah.
Which has nothing to do with the family. There's family controls as well, and apparently those kind of butt heads as well.
Like parental controls,
Yes.
kind of a thing.
But in every write-up of how you match, it was just like, okay, I'm going to make this happen because we needed it for something we were going to record the other day.
Yeah.
There's a critical step 1 to the process.
Can I guess what that step is?
Yeah,
Because
go
I think
ahead.
I've been through it. Is it the request access button that you have when you want to request access to somebody else's game?
That's not a thing as far as I can find.
I've never seen it anywhere. It's in all the documentation. Is,
Yep.
is that what you were getting at?
Yeah, basically, it's like,
Yeah.
how do I get that computer on?
And the documentation says just request access to the game, and it shows
Yeah.
a request access button. I've never seen that button anywhere but in the documentation.
I finally figured out how to do it, but it is a critical step 1 that exists nowhere in the documentation.
It is so bizarre.
They make it, and they've got like these documents that are all pretty, and they got like nice graphics, like now you can do this. Explain it.
Yeah.
Why would you give me a feature that you're not going to tell me how to use?
I'm glad to hear you had this problem. I had the exact same problem when I was trying to do it.
So
I
by the
know
way-
what you feel like on the podcast now when I go on a rant. I love watching this anger.
So for anybody out there that wants to try it, the critical step 1 that you have to do is go to the other person's computer and log into your account and then authorize it through that.
Yep.
You can't do it remotely in any way.
You have to authorize the machine, and then you have to authorize the person.
The users on that machine.
Yep.
They have to have logged into that Steam account or that Steam install, and then you have to log in behind them and then authorize the computer and then authorize any users on that computer that have previously logged in, and then they can install your games.
Yep.
But that
would have been
step.
That's step 0.5.
That step of go to the computer, nowhere. No one says anything about it.
Or if you're Apple, that's step 1.0.
There you go.
And the way they have it listed in the documentation is, if I recall correctly, at least when I did it, was if you want to play, Ryan, if I want to play your games, I just go and request your games. But I can't see your games unless you've been on my computer before and logged in, and I know what your things are.
You also, there's like a lot of talk about joining a family group.
Right.
I mean, they talk about all these things that aren't things. It's like the documentation hasn't been updated since the alpha 2 years ago or something.
Yeah. And it's like and he's right. It's really pretty when you go to look at the documentation. Like it pops up like the store sales, like it does like that kind of breakout, and it's like really pretty graphics. And it's like, oh, this looks really well done.
It's legit.
Nope.
All wrong. Interesting.
So Steam, you've been warned.
But at least you know what. It's here we are picking something apart. At least they have it. It is a great fix.
It works
I'd rather jump through the
wonderfully.
hoops and be able to share the games as opposed to buying everybody in my house a copy of Civ 5.
Once you do it, it works great.
Yep.
Ray was able to we were doing something, and he was able to download a game that I owned and play it. No problem.
Great.
Yep. 5 machines, right?
Yeah,
Or
up
is
to
it 10
5
machine and
machines, I
5
believe.
accounts?
I think it's 5 machines.
I will get the correct information
Yeah.
here. Make sure
That'd
verify
be
that.
pretty close to ideal.
After
Almost
after
ideal
their
for you guys.
initial failure to explain the simplest steps to setting up their software, I quit paying attention to any details they included in their
Yeah.
documentation.
It's probably all
I don't
wrong.
blame you. And who knows if it's even right? You'll get to the third one
Yeah.
and be like, yeah, you're done. Never mind.
While you're still looking that up, there's something else I want to talk about. You remember the game Natural Selection 2? We
Yes.
talked about it previously. I guess the developers, Unknown Worlds Entertainment, have decided that they're not going to dedicate any more resources to it. They're not going to have any developers working on further development of the game. So they've handed over development back to the community.
So just made it open source, essentially?
Well, there are, like, I guess, prominent forum members and community members who are now taking over the development. So it's not open source, but they've
Okay.
granted the development access over to, I guess, like leading members in the community.
So there's just a few people sitting at the top, kind of an oligarchy now, that is controlling the development of natural
I love it.
I love yeah.
That's a new model.
So yeah, his so I guess it's the I guess what's this guy's name? They only list his forum handle, Wasabi1. So I guess
That's the only name he needs, Gus.
they want development to be more visible to the public. They're introducing a program which recognizes community members who root out bugs and design awesome maps. Okay,
I said something to Patrick. I was trying to wave down
was like, what's
our
going
floor
on?
manager. And
I
tell him
thought there was a bug. We had a
need to
wasp
work-
in here earlier that
I know,
flew
it
into
got
I
all
hear that it
over
was
me.
not a
For sure.
wasp at all. It was a mud dauber.
It was a mud dauber.
Everybody
totally
was freaking out.
It was like
it's
climbing through my shirt. That's how I eventually
well,
got
that's
killed.
understandable, yeah.
Yeah.
Once they get under your skin, then you're in trouble.
Yeah,
I've seen what happened to Dead Rising. It turns you into a zombie.
Oh, that's right. I just got in a jar and now I'm almost invincible. All right. So I sent Patrick a thing of the request access button, which I've never seen anywhere else before. Let me see here.
I was all over that too. I was like looking at the friends list. I was looking at like where could this button conceivably exist in a rational UI.
I think I got it exactly right. You may authorize family library sharing on up to 10 devices at a given time.
Oh, wow.
And for up to 5 accounts that may use your game library. See on
it?
the BioShock icon, see that request access? Where is that? I never could find that. And I was trying to do it pretty much day one, so that might have changed by now, but I had the same problem you had. We're looking at a screenshot of the instructions, the pretty instructions on how to use family sharing.
And the thing that's missing at the top of this page is go log into that computer.
Go log in.
Very important step.
So E3, what else are we looking forward to at E3?
I got a notable who I think is not going to show their face at E3.
Who is not going to show their face
the
at E3?
Division.
No, I think we'll see some Division
You think
stuff.
so?
You think so?
Yeah.
You think after they did that, they had this really pretty reveal, and then have since kind of had to announce that they don't have anything to give us for a while?
The next year, all they've done, technically, all they've done is delayed launch a year.
I think there's somebody over there at the trailer department that's probably hiding in a hole. Like, I don't want to show them again.
I think they have
They'll
to
yell
show,
at me.
They have to show something.
Now let me ask you a question, though.
If they don't show, people are going to fucking talk. Like that is a PR problem.
So here we are. This is a great example. We're between the two examples of what we can have for game development and the length of time for game development. You have The Division and you have Watch Dogs. A lot of people are saying, why didn't they spend more time on Watch Dogs and make it a better game? As opposed to The Division, which is like, what the fuck? Where's the game? Put the game out. Just get the game out on the market. I think people would have preferred for the game to stay in development longer and be a better game.
I'm trying to think of what they could have spent. I mean, and again, I haven't finished the game yet, but I'm trying to think of what in Watch Dogs would have benefited from more time. I mean, nothing is, at least nothing that I've run into I'm playing on the Xbox One. I'm not playing on the PC, which I've heard there are issues there. But at least as far as the Xbox One experience, there's nothing like that I can see that's like, man, if only they'd had 20 more hours to devote to that.
There's stuff that gets cut. It's like too high level, and that gets cut very early in the process because, like, look, we're just never going to, this gets punted because we're never going to, it's going to be in Watch Dogs 2.
And there's like, if you want to get like really picky, there's a scenario I encountered where I was driving away from police and I decided to drive on railroad tracks and like try to escape them. And the car doesn't interact with railroad tracks correctly.
What do you mean? I've driven on them.
You can drive over it, fine, but it looks like your car's just hovering.
Oh, okay.
And just like no actual like terrain interaction. It was like to the point where my wife looked at it and goes and asks, "Are you in a hover car or something?" Like, no, just the car's really not. Making contact with the textures under it.
I like your face. You're like, no, it's just.
I mean, that aside, like most of the things that I see in that game it seems like more like choices to me rather than run out of time. Like it feels like they decided to do it this way. Whether that is successful or not is another thing. But
they shipped 4 million copies. I mean,
but
so
choices are based on how much time they have and resources as well. And sometimes those milestones, they can see them coming, 18 months away, and they're like, yeah, we're just not going to get this done.
So did you see that Jack Tretton, who used to, I guess, be in charge of Sony Entertainment America, is going to be covering E3 for Spike TV with Jeff Keighley?
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting. People really liked him.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see his take on it. I think someone asked if he's going to take like the Stephen Colbert approach and be super pro Sony unabashedly. But it'll be interesting to see him back. This is someone who's been in the industry for a long time. I'm curious to see what, like, now that he's stepping away from it, what his like objective view of how things are shapes up.
Well, we're going to be, just so you know, we're going to be out at E3. I'll be there. Alan will be there. Ashley will be there. The No will be covering E3 all next week. And we have a ton of stuff lined up. This is like the most busy E3 we've ever had, where we have like appointments to like view games and everything like that. So we'll be doing a lot of coverage for E3 all next week.
So the press passes are working, is what
the press passes are working.
Nice.
Yeah. And the other thing too is that I will be on, at least we're planning it right now. I'm planning to be on the IGN, I think it's a podcast, but IGN's coverage for pre and post show of the Xbox One or the Microsoft press event, which is on Monday.
Interesting.
And it'll be early Pacific time, but it'll probably be decent time.
Huh. Should we do something for that?
Yeah.
I think about it.
Well, we'll have coverage for the No. That'll cover some of that stuff. It's a tough deal because it's like we could do, coverage of it. Maybe somebody can give us a good suggestion for it. But, a lot of times people are just watching it now.
Yeah.
Like we used to live blog it.
Yeah. That's one thing I'm concerned about, actually, is this Monday's RT podcast butts heads with the Sony E3 presser. And I feel like a lot
It's
of
a
people...
nighttime?
Yeah. A lot
Really?
of people...
That's really weird.
It's I believe it's at 8 p.m. Central Time, 6 p.m. Pacific. So it's like...
Why so late?
I don't know. The Microsoft one's in the morning, the Sony one's in the evening. So I'm a little worried, like, are people not going to watch our podcast because everyone's going to be watching the Sony thing? So we'll see.
Even though I'm going to be at E3, I will be not attending either one. I'm not going to attend the Xbox one. I'll be at the IGN and coverage of it, and then for Sony, I'll just be watching it as well. You know, it's actually the coverage is just as good as being there in the audience. I mean, it's fun, but it's a lot easier to like have your own internet connection instead of sharing it in a stadium full of like 2,500 other press people.
Yeah.
That gets pretty
How does
bad.
that work? Do people just come in with like a giant coil of Ethernet cable and just run it down
I'm
the
sure
hallway?
everyone has a fucking wireless hotspot, and they're like
Well,
fighting
those are
for
all
data.
talking to the same
Yeah.
thing eventually, though. I mean, there's only so many services. I mean, you've got what, T-Mobile, Verizon, AT&T. Like they're still hitting the same towers.
I've actually never had a problem at
What-
those
really?
events.
What they might
on
do
the show floor do, but not at the stadium events.
here at South by Southwest in Austin, they'll roll in those mobile trucks. You ever see them? Like those mobile cellular tower trucks. Like AT&T will just roll in with a van and have like a giant antenna on it and set up temporary cell towers.
Yeah, but I get the point that Ryan is making. It's still going through something, up high at a higher level in the network architecture.
Right, but yeah,
it'd be like if your place is flooding and saying, "Well, let's just add more sewer drains." Sewer drains, excuse me. You know what I mean? It's like you're draining more water, but you're draining it to the same place. You're still going to flood.
Yeah, but there still should be enough aggregate bandwidth high enough up to accommodate these people because these are customers anyway who would be using their device wherever.
AT&T got a little embarrassed a couple years in a row at South by Southwest Interactive where the network just was a piece of garbage because everyone at South by Southwest had an iPhone. And that was AT&T exclusive for a while.
Yeah, and now I feel like I haven't really had an issue like that at South by Southwest in a while. I still definitely have issues at PAX. My phone just does not work.
Dude, we're going through a really cool thing in Austin right now where all the existing data providers are going nuts because everyone is switching away to Google Fiber or in anticipation of Google Fiber coming here. So all of a sudden it's like 1.5, or 1,500 megabits down is what we can get. It's
Yeah, but you know what the downside of that is? I have to sit next to Jeff every day, and he checks the website every day, and I watch him die a little every time it doesn't.
The reason he
update.
dies is because I have it, and I live so fucking close to him. It's like I could probably set up a Wi-Fi access point with a directional antenna and point it at him.
It's literally killing him. I mean, he does it every day. He brings up the
Really?
website and checks to see if it's made it to his house yet.
I gotta tell him, I saw installers one block over from him.
He checked it
over the
today.
weekend.
Still not there.
Is this for what? For AT&T
For
or
the
Time
AT&T
Warner?
fiber.
Okay. Yeah.
All right, well, we're at time. The hourglass just ran out.
All right,
There's a lot
please
to-
let us know if there's anything in particular
Capitalize
that
on
you
that.
would like us to cover for E3. And in fact, I think when we're on the floor one day, we're going to have a whole day where it's like, we're going to go cover this. What else should we go cover? And like the audience can guide us around the floor and tell us what they want to see, kind of like a virtual experience at E3. We're going to try to get that done. Cool. Part of next week.
Yeah, you need to get one of those GoPro helmets that
I'm
face
gonna-
every direction.
I'm
and
going to
then
get a Steam like polka dot VR
There you
headset.
go.
All right, well, thanks for watching, everyone. We'll see you next time.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.